Hi everyone, it's Erica from UTB, and I'm here to tell you more about the BlackBerry KEYone. We're going to talk about what it's made of, literally, the specs, and my impression on using this phone for the past week. So hopefully you can learn more about it, and I can make you want one. I hope you enjoy. Alright, so let's talk about what you have in your hand when you're holding this phone. It's a pretty impressively built and designed phone, and we're going to break those components down for you. First of all, we have this display. It's 4.5-inch display. It is 1620 1080 resolution, and it's got the Corning Gorilla Glass 4 screen, so it's very durable and pretty. It will prevent against those scratches and those cracks. We'll get to the keyboard in a second, but let's talk about the camera. There's an 8-megapixel front-facing camera, and pair that with the 12-megapixel camera in the rear. Also, on the back, we have this grippy texture that gives you a nice, firm, secure hold when this phone is in your hand. Another thing that helps with the feeling of having this phone in your hand is the size. It is 2.8 inches across and 5.8 inches tall, so it's a very comfortable feeling phone in your hand. It's got this wonderful aluminum trim on the outside to help prevent against scratches and dents. And now let's talk about that keyboard. It is backlit, so you can see it in any light. It is capacitive, so it responds to gestures. It also has a very high gloss, elegant finish. And finally, it has that fingerprint sensor in that spacebar to give you a convenient yet secure lock device. So that's everything on the outside. Let's go around the edges. We've got the power button here. We have the speaker and the receiver along with the USB-C port here. We have the convenience key with the volume buttons, as well as the SD and SIM card slot, and then there is the microphone and the jack there. So that is the outside of the phone. Inside, there's some more pretty impressive things in there. There's a Qualcomm Snapdragon 625 processor and a Qualcomm 3505 milliamp hour battery. So that means that this phone is going to be fast, and it's going to give you some heavy power. That is the biggest battery in a BlackBerry phone. Plus, it has the boost charge function. So you can get a quicker charge. The boost charge gives you about 50% battery power in roughly 36 minutes. So you're going to have good power, a well-built phone, and a fast speed. Okay, so this is where things get a little different for me. I'm coming straight off of a BlackBerry 10 phone. My last phone was the Passport. I've never used a BlackBerry Android device before, so this is brand new to me. But coming out of the box, this phone does run Android 7.1 Nougat. And along with Android, for those of you who are unfamiliar, you will have the Google Play Store. And since it's a BlackBerry Android, you will also have things like the Productivity tab, as well as the Productivity tab has your calendar, your messages, tasks, and contacts. And then you also have the BlackBerry Hub, which will be a hub for all of your communication, email, text messages, BBMs, anything that you use to communicate will be there in that hub. And they are continuing to develop that as they build this Android. With the BlackBerry Android, you are getting the best security with the best access to apps. And so far from what I see, it is a fantastic marriage. Another thing that you should notice with the BlackBerry Android is the G-Tech. This is not new to the KEYone, this came with the first Android phone from BlackBerry. But this keeps you feeling safe and secure. It will track what your apps are doing and how they're accessing your information to better keep you feeling BlackBerry secure. So that is the OS and what is fueling this device. Alright, one of the last things I want to do in showing you this phone is to show you the camera. Some of the things that you might want to take notice with this camera, like I said before, it has the 8 megapixel front-facing camera and the 12 megapixel rear camera. There is a brightness indicator that you can adjust with the capacitive keyboard, so while you're holding it to take that picture, you can go ahead and adjust the brightness as needed. It's got the button here to switch cameras. There's several different modes that you can choose from. The video mode has a slow motion function to it as well. There's also panoramic if you want to take those wide angle shots, and then the regular photo. I'll be doing a more in-depth video on the actual camera itself, but I just wanted to highlight it here for the full review. You've got the rest of your settings up here at the top for your camera. It takes incredible pictures. I'm not much into photography, and I was blown away by the photos that this camera can take. So I'll be sharing some of those with the review, so check those out. So we've talked about what you have in your hand with this phone, what this phone is made of. So let's talk about now how it feels. I want to tell you how I feel using this phone. First of all, the way that it feels in my hand, with that grippy texture, it feels nice and secure. It has a very comfortable size to hold on to with just one hand. BlackBerry Mobile has built a wonderful device. It has a good weight to it. It feels strong. It feels like a quality BlackBerry should. Another thing with the Android UI, there's several gestures in there that will make you feel more comfortable if you're coming from BlackBerry 10. With the productivity tab, the G-Tech app, and the BlackBerry Hub, there's so many things that have been done to this Android OS that make it feel the way that people expect when they're coming from BlackBerry 10. Remember, I came from a Passport. I've never touched BlackBerry Android before, and after only a week, I feel very comfortable. Give me a few more months and I will feel completely settled in with this phone. There are a few things like muscle memory, things that I'm still working on. The settings are a little hard for me to navigate because they're different, but one thing that I did to fix that is that I set the keyboard to search the device. So now, instead of using the keyboard for those wonderful shortcuts, which is great if that's what you want to use it for, I like to use my keyboard to find things. So if I'm looking for a contact or an app or a setting, I just type it in and it comes up in the search. So that's one great thing that I've used, that it has just simply carried over from one device to another. Another great thing is that camera, which I mentioned earlier, that the camera has very clear pictures. It's beautiful, and like I said, I'm not much of a photographer type person, but this is the kind of camera, this is the kind of device that makes you notice those things. So if photography, if pictures are important to you, or even if you just love your Instagram and your Snapchat, this is a great phone for you, because both the 12 megapixel camera in the back and the 8 megapixel camera in the front takes good quality photos for you. I think that's about all I have for right now. There are a lot more features that I want to go into depth with, but I'm not going to do it on this review because I would be here all night. So I'm going to make some more videos as we move along and as I settle in with my BlackBerry KEYone. If there's something that you have a question on or something you want to see more of, please send me a comment, send me an email, send me a tweet, however you want to contact me, because it's all right here on my BlackBerry KEYone, so it's super easy. So just let me know what you want to see, and I will do my best to address all those questions. I hope that you are considering getting this phone, because everybody should. It's a great phone. It is already available in the UK, and it will be available on May 31st. in the US and Canada. So get out there and get one. Bye!